Thank you for being patient. Sorry that the live went longer. I thought it was just going to be that 5 minute pause, but I ended up having to pick up my godchild from work. So I had to wait for her. Thus is going into my love series. It's important for my love series because I have to create that boundary for myself and the work that I do. And so it's kind of funny that that's what I had to work through as part of um as part of my self-love journey. You know what I'm saying? Because I have a big heart. My leakage really does come from me trying to pour into everybody and to help everybody and support them where they're at and where, they've been maybe neglected or where they've been hurt. That's been my biggest thing, but then I always end up me last. You know what I'm saying? Choosing me last instead of putting me first and then whatever else that I want to provide or give to show to the world or help people or empower people should be coming at that point. So it's just another indication that today is what it's supposed to be. Today is about the loss, the grief, the way that your heart has had these holes in it, right? And even when I picked her up to drop her off, she's like, I'm hungry, right? And my normal self would go, oh, okay, she's hungry. Let me go get her and get her something to eat, blah, blah, blah. But then myself that's working on my deeper level of self-love is like, there's stuff to eat at the house. She just doesn't want to eat what's at the house. There's plenty of things for her to eat, right? Or she can wait till I'm done. That's the choice. So she asked, how long have you been alive? And I said, I don't know, maybe another 30 minutes or so. As long as I want to be. As long as I feel like I need to be in order for me to finish this first session of the love series, okay? And for you guys that are going to be in the love series, that are going to be getting like the breakdown of where your heart still has blockages or holes or some of your hangups, or the ones of you that are going to be joining me on like the master classes, the meditations, and the ritual work, that part of it, you guys will have more I would say more one-on-one, but more one-on-one or more in-depth parts of it. But I wanted to be able to share this love series with everybody because everybody deserves love. Everybody deserves to be loved on. So it's time. It's definitely time. You can definitely do a love read. I don't know if you want to do a love reading because you said private. So I do offer my readings 65 for 30 minutes and 110 for an hour. You can go onto my page and book through there, or you can message me and I can book you as well. I think I do have some time today if you wanted to get in today. I'm like thinking about my schedule. I think I have 2 healings and a reading, so I might have time today. Otherwise, tomorrow I have openings. But Texas Star, put your question in. Okay. Message me so I can get you on there. And then if you book it on my website, it has all the payment options on there to pay through the website. Otherwise you can do it just through me. Up to you. And I have Zelle, Apple Pay, Venmo. Yeah, Zelle, Apple Pay, Venmo. Love it. Okay. So let me get Texas Star because we want to be able to start to finish these seals that we need to finish up. Okay. My question is, will I ever get to the point where I can truly allow someone in? That really did come from your heart. And for you specifically, it came from something deep in your heart, like the center of your heart, almost like a core trauma. Okay. Because it comes from being a child and not knowing if you can trust the people that you have or the people you have around you. Okay. It's such a deep, it's a foundation thing. Does it make sense? So now, no matter who you love, no matter how much they show you love, no matter how much they pour into you, that seed is almost poisoned, right? That seed is it leads to the detriment of all the other loves that you try to have. And that does play in roles with money and joy and just like living all of the ways that you want to live. You know what I'm saying? She wasn't the emotionally available. In my opinion, she's better at it now. But it's still hard for me. Yeah. And it's hard for you to accept it because that's the seed that you were shown as a kid. So it made you kind of color the whole world with that. So now the whole world is from this viewpoint of being like, well, damn, if my own mom can't understand me emotionally or be here to kind of hold me or hold space for me emotionally, then I can't expect anybody else to be able to do that. Or if I do give them a chance to do that, they disappoint me because that's what I've seen already. That's the seed that has been planted inside my heart space. So for you, it's going to be a little bit different, okay? If you have this seed, this deeper seed, and this is for anybody else that's on the live too that feels what Texas is talking about, right? This piece that was been missing from her from a long time. You're going to fill that seed back in, okay? And then I'll answer your question. You're going to fill that seed back in. So you can put your hand over your heart space, or you can just visualize it within your mind's eye. I want you to look at that hole that's in the deep part of your heart. And it almost seems like it's like a little piece missing. So it looks like it's black or it's like a hole, right? If you've seen a hole in the ground, it's dark down there. And I want you to put a plug back in, right? I want you to put a cap on, or however you see it in your mind's eye of what it would look like to cover up a hole or fill a hole back up. And how you're going to do that is you're going to say to yourself, because you know this mentally, you know this, you're going to say to yourself, my mom did the best that she could with what she had. I'm learning each day what love looks like and how I can love myself. Therefore, I forgive you. To your mom, to yourself, to anybody else that kind of followed suit with how your mom showed you love. You're going to release it. Okay? So you're going to say, I forgive this. I release this. And then you're going to pour the love back in until that hole looks solid. I can see it already. Until that hole looks solid. Yeah. Now I want you to ask that question again. Okay? With your heart full, knowing that you get to love yourself, knowing that you get to be your own cheerleader, knowing that you built this whole life for you. You did a really good job building your life for you with what you were missing. So it should be a testament to the fact that you do love yourself, to the fact that you can trust loving you and letting someone else love you the same way that you do. Yes. First of all, congratulations on the baby. And yes, it's important, especially if you're having a girl. A lot of times it's about pouring into that child in the way that you weren't poured into. But you can if you're still carrying this chip, right? You can't pour into her if it's going to be something that you're still feeling like you don't know about. You do know about love. You do know about worth. You do know about value and experiences because you've held people at really high calipers. You've really held people at a high note because you wanted to make sure they weren't going to disappoint you like you were disappointed as a child. So I want you to pour that energy back into your heart and fill that hole back up and forgive your mom so that you can accept that you know how to love yourself. So how could you be afraid of letting someone else in when your heart is full, when your cup is full? Them coming in is not going to make or break anything in your heart. So let them in. Let them in. Because it's about trusting you. If you know that you keep people at this high caliber, you know what your worth and your value is. For one, that's probably one of the hardest parts when people have struggles in self-worth or self-love, is that they don't think they have anything to value or anything to offer. You have the opposite issue. You don't think you have anything, you don't think you have an issue with what you have to value. You know your worth, you know your value. You set a really good tone. Your fear is that if you let your guard down all the way, or you let them in, that they're going to somehow take something. But there was nothing there for them to take because it was a hole. So your fear was because of what wasn't there, not because they could take that from you. But now we just put that back in, and you've already lived that. So now what could they possibly come in and take when you just fill the hole back up? It's filled. You're full. Love, ecstatic. Because you have no problem with love and support and giving people there, because you actually really have good boundaries, because your worth is there. So really all you needed is a little push, a little reminder. Right? Beautiful. Okay. Who else? What you're doing for this live. Okay. What today is we're talking about the losses and the sorrow and what needed to be forgiven. So for anybody else that needs to go through this, you're tuning into your heart and you're asking the question that comes forth from your heart space, because we're sealing up those holes. And then those of you who want to be in the love series, I will give you a breakdown of if there's anything else that's still left in the tank for your heart. But we'll talk about it now during the live. But I'm just saying, if you are in the series, and I can give more individual time for those people. I just need to know who's joining in and who's going to be a part of it. I'll post all the details on my TikTok. It'll be on all the socials, my TikTok, my Instagram, my YouTube, and my Facebook, so that everybody has a chance to be a part of it and be part of the classes. It's going to get deeper. If you thought you were feeling something today, it's going to only get deeper, because this is just a little bit of opening, a little bit of conversation. And I'll be on live every day in that window, 11 to 1. Okay. So set your clocks. I'm going to also put it on here as, what do they call them? I think they call them like events, right? I'll put them on there as events. So there'll be reminders for you guys that are following me. That way you can get access to the live, and you can still do the work without having to do the full investment. The full investment is about you investing in yourself. You can still get what you need from this live, right? Because it's going to plant a seed. It's going to help you start thinking about it. It's going to help you start to be like, I was really hung up on that relationship, but I realized it's not really about that person. It's about this, right? Or I really was thinking this is what my question was, but when I was asked the question, what does my heart need to know right now? What is my heart soul question asking me? It was something completely different. Because sometimes we get caught up on the little minuscule things, the little things that are happening, and it's really a bigger lesson or a bigger picture that we're not aware of. And the reason why I wanted to give us a chance to talk about the grief part, the loss part, is because we've all been through some sort of heartache, some sort of loss. Even sometimes when we choose ourselves or we set a boundary, it feels like a heartache. You know what I'm saying? Because we have trained ourselves from, places of trauma, because of what we witnessed, from conditioning, from the matrix, the program, right? We've conditioned ourselves in places of life to like give wholeheartedly, or to be available to whoever, because we were looking for whatever to fill up the cup, right? Some sort of love, acknowledgement, attention, whatever we were lacking, we were looking for. And so we allowed that to be kind of an agenda, not realizing the bits and pieces of ourselves that we were giving away. And then when you're not getting reciprocated on, when you're not being loved on the way that you're giving love, well, it creates little tears, little micro tears and little breaks in your heart, because it's like, well, damn, I loved you. I loved on you. I showed up for you. I sacrificed for you. And then people don't have that same energy back in return. So then it creates these little tears in your heart space. Some of it can even be disappointment, is what Spirit's telling me, right? To disappointment, basically meaning like, maybe you really did have a lot of hope for someone, or a relationship, or a friendship, or family, and then it didn't go that way. And so a part of you feels heartbroken by that loss, right? And that comes into abandonment stuff. That loss feels like a lot. But you got to ask yourself the question, does it really feel like a loss? If you tune into those people that you had heart for or love for or you grew up with or whatever, and they're not in your world right now or they're not in your life right now, does it feel like a loss? Do you feel like you're lost without them? Does it feel like it's something that you want or need? And it's okay if you do, but then you want to answer the question, if you do want those people in your world, in your life, what is it that's keeping you from being able to have that? Does it make sense? And then answer that question. Because if I say to myself, oh, I want this person in my life. Okay, why are they not in my life? Well, they're not in my life because, you know, they didn't see me, or they betrayed me, or, you know, they were abusive, or, you know, something was not in alignment with each other. Answering that question gives you all the things that you need. Well, if that's the case, knowing what you know, knowing that they hurt you, they, you know, betrayed you, that they weren't in alignment, whatever the case is, knowing that piece, why would you want them back in your life? Knowing that piece, right? Well, because I love them, right? That's a feeling. It's not a truth. I love them. I miss them. Okay. What do you love about them? What do you miss about them? Oh, well, I miss like the times that we had and like the good times. Okay. You miss the good times. So that means you're not acknowledging the bad times. You're trying to hyperfixate on one portion of the connection because that made you feel safe. But when we go back to the reason why you're not talking to that person or they're not in your life, the betrayal, the hurt, the cheating, whatever the hell it was, we go back to that puzzle, that still hurts. So you're trying to compartmentalize and put, you know, your fixation on one piece of it because that part feels good and rings true, but there's another part that's still hurtful to you. So are we not going to address the part that's hurtful to you? Are we not going to really go through and, you know what I'm saying, understand why this person caused you hurt and pain? It's important for us to do that because when I talk about this work today, this love that we're in, this love series, and we talk about the losses and the grief, if you can't give yourself an honesty about what it is and what happened, and that there could be two truths, a truth that this person I did love, this person I do have love for, or I had love for, or whatever the word is, but I also know that they're not right for me. I also know that I don't deserve that. I also know that it doesn't align or it's holding me back. You have to have that acknowledgement. And even when you acknowledge it, you'll feel that hole that's in your heart space start to heal, right? Now you're putting in some fix it and it's starting to heal over so that your heart can be safe. Okay? Ty, welcome. What we're doing today, this is a love series that we're working on today. Okay? So you jumping in is for a reason, obviously. Like you said, something caught you. So what I'm asking people to do on the live, and anybody else that's just come in, I want you to tune into your heart and what you've been through and like what could be the possible, you know, grievances, loss, anything that's left over, any of the holes in your heart. And I want you to ask a question. Put your question into the live from that space in your heart. You can put your hand over your heart. You can just tune into it. I want you to ask a question that comes up for you. Something that you need to know or you need to hear today. And then I'm going to answer it. Whoever wants to. You don't have to. I'm offering it. I'm offering it for this live today and during this series. And we're going to be on, like I said, every day, a commitment to our love, a commitment to ourselves, a commitment to the truth. Why you give it all away? You know what's interesting? That question that you ask is not even just in your heart space, but it's actually in your root. It's not even really coming from your heart. It's coming from your root. That has to do with trauma. And not to get all in your business or put anything out there, but it has to do with sexual trauma, abuse. That's where it's stemming from. So that tells me that you were taught at a young age, or you were taught through your growing up, that you had to be all these things for other people to be liked. For people to want to invest in you or be with you, you had to do things a certain way. You had to be what they wanted you to be in order for you to hold the attention, or hold the hold the attention, right? That's what it feels like. That's what you were taught. So when you ask that question, why do I give it all away? Well, that's what you were shown. It's not even your fault. That's what you were taught. And for you, it's deep because it goes back into generations. And I mean back. If I look at your trauma, it goes back like 4, maybe 5. I want to say 5 generations back of this. And here you are in this life because you're the one that's going to break it. And you've already been breaking it because you've been being more, what's the word? Protective of yourself. Protective of yourself and protective of your time, and deciding who gets to have access and who does not. So to answer your question, you give it all away because you didn't know any other way. But now you do. And so you owe it to yourself to pick and choose what you want, and not to try to be what you think someone else wants. Yeah. Yep. Family don't ever talk about the traumas, but it goes back 5 generations back, to be exact. Whew, Lord. So how would you know? You know what I'm saying? I know you are. You ain't got to promise. I know you are because you're here. You popped in here for a reason. That's why I said I know the people are going to find what they need to find today, because I was told, get on the live. Speak on it. Speak on the love. Help people understand where they have the grievances that they're still carrying inside. So for you, you're going to make a declaration for yourself. And this is part of our love series too. You're going to make a declaration for yourself that basically says, I'm no longer going to continue to give parts of me away, or to allow anybody to make me shift or change who I am. Because we don't really care. It's not that deep. Being in a relationship is not that deep. It's the programming that makes you feel like you have to be chasing this agenda, to be married at a certain age and to be locked in with somebody, and you're missing out on life if you don't have a partner, because now you can't go on these retreats, or now you can't go on these cruises, or now you can't go over here. If you don't have kids, well, now you're missing out on the opportunity to be a parent. If you see what I'm saying? I was scrolling, never seen a day in my life. You might have. No, I was saying not in this life, maybe in another life. And that's exactly this is why you're here, trying to figure out who I am. That's exactly it. The fact that you're trying to figure it out, the fact that you're open to discovering who you are, that's all that matters. You'll find every little piece that you need as you go, because your intention is to find out. And what I do, which is funny that you say that, I'm trying to find out who I am. What I do, what I came here to do, what I was sent here to do, is to empower people to remember who they are. This is why I do the work that I do. So I can help unlock those pieces and drop those keys and put those gems out there just to open up the flow. So you will see. You will see during this series, I'm going to be on every day for 14 days straight. And I ain't done that in a minute. It's got to be like, I don't know, years at this point. Because I always have so much classes going on, but I'm going to make sure that I stick to this, because Spirit said it's really important. So yeah, that's what it is. That's your piece. You're going to start looking at things differently, and not looking at it as you have to be something for someone to like you, and be like, well, my person that likes me for me. That's going to be your logic. My person that likes me, that really fucks with me, that's really for me, likes me for me. So if you don't like me, you don't like something about me, then you're not for me. You're not for me. I'm not going to shift and change and alchemize to try to be what you want me to be, because what does that do? It's a facade. And when you do that, that's the reason why the relationships don't last, because when you do that, it starts off real good and hot because you guys are in that honeymoon phase. And, you know, he's also doing the same thing. So don't think it's just you. He's doing the same thing. I'm going to be what she wants me to be so I can be with her. And you're going to be what he wants you to be so you can be together. And everything is great and fine when you guys are in this phase, in this honeymoon, in this facade. And then as soon as real stuff starts happening, which means emotions start really coming in, you start to really feel this person, they start to really like you, love comes into the play, you know, it opens up all the inhibitions, and then all of the stuff comes out, all the ick, the unhealed parts, because that's what relationships are for, is to heal. So all the healing comes out, and then people start showing their true face. People start showing their true agendas. Truth comes out, behaviors come out, sabotaging behaviors come out, the lack of love, the unworthiness come out, and then all the stuff starts to fall apart. And then it's like you're holding on to the relationship only because you feel like you owe that person, or you want it to work, or you put some kind of idea in your head that it's got to be like this, or you had a vision about it, and so you're holding on to that piece of it, and none of it's actually what you wanted. Such a cycle. Yeah. And I cut folks off. And that tells me that too. It's like once you become aware of it, of this is not what you want, or this is part of that BS, then you're like, oh, I can cut this person off, right? I can this ain't for me, and you leave it alone. But then you go and you date the next person, and it's the same situation. Similar situation. I won't say they're all the same, but they're still the same underlying problems. Yeah. This man and kids. And sometimes it'd be those people that kind of stop you in your tracks, but sometimes it's meant to help you go through deeper workings. So there's that. Okay. Anybody else? A question. I'm trying to think of anything else Spirit wants me to cover for this first series. It's kind of like an episode. For this first episode. Nope. For the people that are going to be watching this on playback. They had me the scissors though. Yeah. So because you need to check with yourself and make sure it's what you want. And I'll put on the live too. I'll put in the schedule. That way it should pop up on everybody's feed. Like, oh, you know, this creator has a scheduled time for it's gonna be between 11 to 1 every day until the 14th. 11 to 1. The only ones that are going to be a little bit off are going to be on Sundays, because Sunday I do 10 to 12. But you guys will see that. I'm gonna post it so y'all can see it. It's okay. I'm gonna post it. So just make sure you come back on, and you can take a screenshot of the agenda, and it has the times on there. Okay. If you want to join in, it's completely up to you if you want to join in. The ones that are going to be on Zoom, you'd have to join in to be on those Zoom ones, but I will still be live during those days. Just might be different times. So it's going to be interesting. Yeah, I definitely will. Okay. So for anybody that ends watching this playback, so I'm going to put this on my YouTube. For you guys, the last thing that Spirit wants you to tune into or check into, like I said, is going to be those last holes. So what I want you to do, and this is for you guys as well, what I want you guys to do is I want you to draw your heart. I want you to draw your heart and how your heart looks. And I want you to take a different color or a different pen or a marker or something else. And I want you to highlight if there's any cracks or holes or leakages or anything else that's left in the heart space. Once you draw the lines or the leaks or the holes, I want you to label it. What it is. What is the hole? When you tune into that hole, what is it? Where did it come from? Who caused it? These are the important pieces. What is it? Where did it come from? Or who caused it? That kind of goes hand in hand. And how we're going to heal it. How we're going to heal it is going to go into the work that we're going to do during the whole entire love series. So one portion of this love series is going to pour in or fix or replace or replenish something that's in that space. But we have to have some sort of a marker to start with, so we know where we started and we know where we're at by the end of the 14 days of this love. And it's funny because we're ending on the 14th, but it's 7/14. But Spirit's like, it's really like when you think about Valentine's Day, right? It's like the peak. The year really is split up and coinciding with each other, almost like two two halves. June was the halfway mark, right? Now we're on the second end of this 2026 chapter. So think about this transition for your heart space. Yeah, what else do I want to say about this to get us started? Yeah, that's it. People that came on and asked their questions, they got what they needed. And the people that find this video after will get what they need still. And we will continue to grow from here. Yeah. So pay attention. Take a screenshot of the flyer I'm going to post with all of the different things we're going to be doing each day. Maybe highlight the days that you think are really important that you need to attend to. If you can't do the whole series, which is the $200, you can just do drop-ins. Do the lives and then do the drop-in classes. The drop-in classes are $40 each, I believe. It might be more for one of them, but I think they're $40 each for those. So you could just do a drop-in if one of those days feels really important to you. You know? That's it. That's what I got today. I don't know how I got here, but I know. Yeah. You got here because your spirit was looking. The intention I put out there was whoever's ready to walk this path of working on themselves and this deeper level of love will see this. So whether it's here on TikTok, whether it's when I repost it on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, will I be able to post it on all those things? Maybe just on YouTube. Either way, it's going to be what it's going to be. So, and yeah, you can just follow me as normal. We always do questions every Monday and Friday. So we're going to keep that agenda going. To do Monday and Friday questions. Friday we do paid questions, so it's $7 a question or $25 if you want more of an in-depth. But there's that. Whoever said they wanted to do a reading today, message me so I can try to get you on the books today. I think I have an availability here at 1:30 or 2 o'clock, and then I have bookings after that. So yeah. Welcome, Des. So we're working on the energy of self-love. So we really want to tune into your heart and hearing what your heart needs answers around. Let me think about that. Will Brandon reach out to me this month? New. I love this. They're telling me yes about the situation with Brandon. But I want you guys to dig deeper with your question so you can really get the healing piece of the heart space. Otherwise, you're just asking the questions because you're kind of going crazy. It's more of a mental thing than it is a heart thing, right? Okay. Are things over with Alex? They are and they aren't. You know what I'm saying? They are and they aren't. Because Spirit's basically saying, like, they're over because you guys are at this ending point. Could you pick it back up and try to work through some of it or move past it? But I just don't see it. I don't see it unfolding that way. I don't see you guys being able to figure it out because it just feels like two different places. She said, girl, I want even trying to get you to tap into me. It was just what I needed to hear in that moment. Facts. That's how Spirit works. Spirit will tell you exactly where you need to be and what you need to know so you can move forward. Okay. So I'm going to hop off for now. This will be the end of this first love series live. I'll be back on tomorrow between that 11 to 1 Central Standard Time window. I will post the love series event. If you want to be in the love series, just message me so I can start adding you to the list with the other people. Nope, that's all. You're so welcome. Thank you guys for the follows. Thank you for the shares, the gifts, coming in, opening your heart, being vulnerable, choosing to heal and love yourself, and moving on to a new journey. Okay, I'll see you guys tomorrow.